Our goal in this class is to gain some insight and wisdom about God, the Bible, sin, salvation, and Christian living. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 9, verse 10, that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of Him is understanding. The word in the original language for fear means reverence and respect. So the logical place to start is to figure out if God exists, and if so, who is He? These are the main points we're going to walk through in this lesson. We're going to look at God's existence through a more specific, scientific perspective. We're going to see God, is He eternal and uncreated? How do we recognize evidence of intelligence? That living things show evidence of design? And who or what is the designer? Does natural selection and mutation produce design? What is the foundation of science and reason? Who created God? How do we know the Creator is the God of the Bible? In our everyday experience, just about everything seems to have a beginning. In fact, the laws of science show that even things which look the same through our lifetime, such as the sun and other stars, are, in reality, running down. The sun is using up its fuel at millions of tons each second. Since the sun cannot last forever, it logically had to have a beginning. The same can be shown to be true for the entire universe. So when Christians claim that the God of the Bible created all the basic entities of life and the universe, some will ask what seems to be a logical question. Who created God? The very first verse in the Bible declares, "In the beginning, God." There is no attempt in these words to prove the existence of God or imply in any way that God had a beginning. It simply opens with God's existence implied. In fact, the Bible makes it clear in many places that God is outside of the boundaries of time. He is eternal with no beginning or end. He also knows all things, being infinitely intelligent. Is it logical, though, to accept the existence of such an eternal being? Can modern science, which has produced our technology of computers, space shuttles, and medical advances, can it even allow for such a notion? What evidence would we expect to find if there really is an infinite God who created all things as the Bible claims? How would we even recognize the hand of such an omnipotent or all-powerful creator? The Bible claims that God knows all things, that He is omniscient. Therefore, He is infinitely intelligent. To recognize His handiwork, one would have to know how to recognize the evidence of the works of intelligence. Why do scientists become so excited when they discover stone tools together with bones in a cave? The stone tools show signs of intelligence. The scientists recognize that these tools could not have designed themselves, but that they are a product of intelligent input. So they correctly conclude that an intelligent creature was responsible for making these tools. In a similar way, one would never look at the Great Wall of China or the Pyramids of Giza, for example, and conclude that such structures were formed after explosions in a brick factory. Neither would anyone believe that the president's heads on Mount Rushmore were the products of millions of years of erosion. We can recognize design, the evidence of the outworkings of intelligence. We see man-made objects all around us, cars, airplanes, computers, stereos, houses, appliances, and so on. And yet at no time would anyone ever suggest that such objects were just the products of time and chance. Design is everywhere. It would never enter our minds that metal, left to itself, would eventually form into engines, transmissions, wheels, and all other intricate parts needed to produce an automobile. This design argument can be explained using the analogy of a watch. When examining a watch, we can conclude that the watch must have had a maker, that there must have existed at some time and at some place or other a skilled craftsman or inventor who formed it for the purpose which we use it, and this craftsman comprehended its construction and designed its use. So we can see that just as the watch implies a watchmaker, so too does design in living things imply a designer. In our world today, a large portion of the population, including many leading scientists, believe that all plants and creatures, including the intelligent engineers who make watches and cars, etc., were the product of an evolutionary process, not a creator God. But this is not a defensible position, as we will see.